Chats, episode 4. Got the main man here, Cardiff Blues captain, Wales captain, currently on the way back to fitness, Mr. Ellis Jenkins. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
How you doing, alright?
Yeah, not too bad, those things.
I'm alright, you nervous? Are you alright?
Yeah, a little bit.
Worried about what I'm going to say?
There's no questions coming in.
Aye, nothing too bad, mate. Family audience, eh? I normally start every episode with a beer, so there's mine. But obviously you're training at the moment, aren't you? So cheers for coming in, but enjoy your water. Good boy. What's going on then? What's news?
Not a lot, mate. Just same old really at the moment. Just rehab with the physios.
Yeah.
Just trying to get back on the field. Trying to learn to run again. Learn to change direction, and things are progressing quite nicely. So yeah, hopefully back around Christmas time. Hopefully.
Okay. So you in with the boys all the time at the moment? In with the squad?
Not really, no. They're sort of doing rugby stuff and gym, and I'm just mainly rehab focused at the moment.
Okay.
Just with I spend a lot of time with the physios.
Yeah. Your best mates at the moment, are they?
Yeah, pretty much. There's been a few of us. Obviously, you get a couple of boys every couple of weeks come into the injured group, stay for 6 weeks, come in injured.
Body fat every day, is it?
Yeah, pretty much. So no, it's been alright. I've been lucky that I get on well with the guys I'm sort of rehabbing with.
Yeah.
So they've made it a lot easier.
Class. And everyone happy with how you're coming on?
Yeah, except me probably. It's never goes
frustrating,
as,
is it?
Yeah, it never goes as fast as you want it to. It's always sometimes you get carried away thinking thinking you're better than you are, and then you try and do something a day later and it's tough. But it's, like I said, it's progressing slowly and improving. So
perfect.
Yeah.
I want to go back to Ellis Jenkins as a kid growing up in the valley.
Right.
Church Village. Is that where you're from? Is that right? Church Village?
Yeah.
From that way?
Yeah.
What were you like as a kid, mate? Were you always wanted to be a rugby player or tear away at school? Like, what were you like?
Yeah, no, not really. I was very, very well behaved in school.
Were you?
Yeah.
Oh, bollocks.
I was a maths geek. I was.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Played football a lot when I was younger.
Yeah.
Wasn't interested in rugby, and sort of when I went to comp, the boys I played football with started playing rugby.
Okay.
Well, some of them played rugby already for Landudvadra.
Yeah.
So I went along. Started at fullback.
You?
Moved to centre.
Yeah.
And then just kept moving
So
in closer and closer to forward.
Second row in a couple of years' time, then you're hooking now before the end.
Luckily, I'm not tall enough to play in the second row. But, yeah, hopefully my career comes to an end before I'm considered as a second row anyway.
You being a hooker now?
Nah.
The dark arts, mate.
I'd rather play 10 for Landudvadra than
class.
than hooker professional.
I enjoy seeing that.
Yes.
So you went through. Did you come through the academy system then, or was it sort of spotted and brought into like just Cardiff RFC? I know you did Cardiff and Ponty and that.
No, so pretty much played Ponty Schools.
Yeah.
Got to the final of the Dewar Shield under 15s. Set the record for the biggest defeat ever in a final.
Wow. Against who?
Wrong the schools.
Okay.
They scored like 7 driving lineups against us. So real.
Anyone in that team?
Brad Fire.
Oh yeah.
Was
The
there.
Blues now.
Yeah. Will Griff John, who's up in
Is he
up in Sale.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matthew Screech at the Dragons. So yeah, there's a few of them.
Yeah, good fair play.
A few of them. They were well drilled, and I said very exciting game. They scored.
Battered you though.
Yeah. So after that, got into Blues under 16s.
Yeah.
And then 18s, 20s. So came through the pathway and played for Cardiff when I was 17.
Fair play.
So I was in sixth form, and then sort of started training with the academy, and then called in for a couple of games at the end of the season.
Yeah.
And just went from there really. A couple of games for Ponty in the British and Irish Cup. And
of course.
Over the years.
How was that overlap? Obviously the much disputed relationship between Ponty and the Blues and Cardiff now. How was that? Any banter, any shit for that? Or?
It was fine for me really. I probably grew up supporting Ponty, so and the Celtic Warriors as they were.
Yeah.
So I probably should have played Ponty when I was younger, but I ended obviously with the academy, and Cardiff needed a back row at the time, so went and played for them for a few seasons. But really enjoyed playing for Ponty as well. Chief was coaching there.
Was he? Yeah.
He coached me a lot growing up as well. So Chief was at the.
I know a few of the boys who played up there. They absolutely love him. Everyone idolises him.
Yeah, because he good mates with Dicko.
Exactly. Dicko, Timmy, and all that were up there.
Oh, he's a mental bloke. But I owe Chief a lot of growing up as well.
You still keep in touch with him?
Yeah, now and again.
He's out in Japan, isn't he?
Yeah. I'll coach you.
Maybe
Yeah.
Not a bad gig.
I know. So he obviously done well in the Premiership last couple of years, and wherever he goes, success seems to follow him. So. Yeah. But no, he's a good guy.
Class. And so you've gone. What's your thoughts? Just while you're on, you talk about obviously you've kind of come through that academy system. What's your thoughts? I'm older than you, obviously, but the academies weren't around, so kids just played rugby up until they were like 17, 18, and they just played a lot more rugby. It seems from the outside. What's it genuinely like? Do the kids coming through the academies now? Are they playing a lot of rugby still, or are they in the gym a lot more?
I think both. Like the academy system's changed a lot since it's been sort of eight years since I've been at the academy system. And it's gone a lot more schools and colleges. So they pretty much get into professional environments, or almost professional environments when they're like 16, 17 years old. Sometimes younger. So I think it's good for them. They get proper strength and conditioning programs, proper coaching at the young age. But this sort of misconception really that they spend a lot of time in the gym and no time on the pitch.
That's what you see on social media.
But I like some of the guys who come over from New Zealand are some of the strongest guys I've met. So it's and the strength and conditioning coaches we've had from New Zealand. So up the training level when they get
they
get here. So they want us doing more. So it's like it's a bit of a misconception.
It works for them, and
it's a bit of a everyone's like sort of talks about New Zealand as if they don't do any weights, which is nonsense.
Okay, so I'm from the old school where you're 18 or 17, you're in the first team, then you're getting smashed in the clubhouse after. Obviously, that's how you learn when you become a man type thing, not like, obviously not in the gym for me anyway. So, Cardiff, Ponty, OMI, you made your debut. Do you remember your debut for the Blues? Do you remember who it was against?
It was against Newcastle away.
Nice place to go.
Yeah, I think I was probably one of the old, we were basically a team of 18-year-olds. They had Ewan Murray, tight dead, Jimmy Gopworth was out at half, Ali Hogg was number 8, and they battered us. I absolutely battered. I think we scored the first penalty. So we went up 3-0, and I remember Macaulay Cook saying boys, we've got this. We lost 30 points to 3, I think. So it was tough. I remember thinking Jimmy Gopworth still probably one of the best players I've played against.
Unbelievable.
Not at the time, no one really knew who he was. And since then, he's gone to Wasps, gone to Leinster, and done what he's done. But I just remember thinking, there's no way I'm going to play at this level. I remember being on the pitch, just thinking, I have no idea what's going on. I was 18, and I just remember thinking, there's so much going on. I was just way off the pace. And so were lots of the players in that team, and you got Reece Patchell, Thomas Young. Of course.
Obviously, look what they're all doing now as well.
Exactly. So we had some Owen Williams, Corey Allen, Harry Robinson. We had some great players. Just kids. We were all 18 years old. And, we had a good
grounding for us to come then, I suppose.
Harsh lesson.
Harsh reality on what professional rugby's like. Class. And so as you come through the age grade, obviously with the Blues, you came through with the Wales as well. So you did the Wales, anything under the Wales 20s?
16s, 18s.
So you did 16s, 18s and 20s. And am I right in saying you guys at the 20s were the only team or the first team to beat New Zealand? That age group?
First ones, what
was that like?
So they were in our group. So we had Fiji.
Where was that?
In South Africa.
Class.
In Cape Town.
So mental trips.
It was good.
Did you tour properly as well at under 20 level?
No.
Did you have a few beers as well as enjoy it?
No.
Purely professional, was it?
We were in Cape Town. It's quite a dangerous place as well. So
I've not been to South Africa.
We were 18, 19 years old. No, until the last night. We had a sort of a function, a dinner. We all went out on the last night. But we beat New Zealand. They never lost. I think the 3 or 4 years that the tournament had been running, they'd won every game. Obviously, won the tournament every year. And we managed to get them on the wettest day that Stellenbosch has ever seen, and beat them in a 9-6 thriller.
Class.
I remember Tom Aberfield was unbelievable. Tom Pridey was kicking goals. Matthew Morgan was half. We had a really strong scrum, and we just basically it was a
power game.
Yeah, forward dominated game.
And any big names for them at the time?
I think Tungafasi was playing.
Okay.
The prop. So he's the only one really I can remember. We were young at the time. By the end of the game, everyone looked the same. It was stinky. It was honestly, it was like a swamp. There was a game on before us, and it was raining. Cut the pitch up. We were on.
Oh, you played straight after?
Yeah, straight after. And there was a game on after us as well.
Oh, minging.
Yeah, it was like a swamp when we came off.
It was just completely brown, man.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it was a nice sunny day when we played them again in the semi-final, and they battered us. But yeah, it was good, nice to be the sort of first team to beat them.
Class. And when you're at that under-20s level, obviously you're playing against, I suppose you are all men, aren't you? You've been in the gym for a couple of years, you're all big boys. What's the difference when you, I'm awful at rugby, Division 3 fucking, but I'm great on the piss.
Yeah, weird.
What's the difference when you get, say, either Wales 20s or even Cardiff Blues when you debut and then stepping up to that first cap for Wales? What's that like?
The physicality is obviously one. You've gone from playing the best with the best and against the best players at your age to the best players over the last 10 years. With the age range, but just the physicality of it, and also the sort of the pressure. So the games count a lot more. Is especially when you get into the professional games. There's jobs riding on results and stuff.
Do you feel pressure?
Sometimes, not particularly nervous. Especially for games. Once you're on the pitch, maybe beforehand. I hate the hanging around before.
You're just waiting for it.
If the games are in the nights, you know what to do yourself.
Just nervous and just chilling.
But once you're on the pitch, you just got to sort of back your preparation really, and you just almost go into autopilot and just get on with it.
Class. And on your Wales day, you was New Zealand away in the tests, is that right? Yeah. Any what's your memories of New Zealanders playing against the All Blacks in your first? Not many people do that in their first test, do they?
No. New Zealand was amazing. It was all pretty quick, happened pretty quickly, to be honest. I didn't make the squad initially, and so the Welsh squad were all in for a training camp, and I was on the boys all day in Marbella. And
Ocean Beach,
and then Dan Lydiate got injured against England on the Sunday before they left. So I had a phone call that night off Alan Phillips. I thought it was someone taking the piss, but he sort of rang me and said, 8 o'clock Monday morning, go and pick your kit up from the Millennium Stadium and come to New Zealand tomorrow. So I was like, wow. Exactly. So I met the boys in. We've been home from Marbella for a couple of days by then.
So you were saying you were in Marbella.
No, I still sunburned. But, so when I met the squad on the Monday, flew out to New Zealand. Luckily, I knew I was on standby, so everyone was on standby. I had an email. Just so you know, you are on standby. So I'd been training quite hard. Half for Marbella and half.
You've got to relax a bit, yeah.
Training half for Marbella and half for the rugby.
Of course. Tops off.
So we got out there and we had a couple of days training, and then they named a team, and I remember thinking there was a couple of boys who'd already been named in front of me in the squad initially. So I remember thinking I was out there just to,
tackle bags.
Yeah, almost. I went out there with the intention of obviously of training and playing as well as I could. But we had a midweek game against the Chiefs. And I was like, I'll probably just play the Chiefs, and if there's any injuries, maybe come the end of the tour. And then they named the team for the first test, and I was on the bench. I sort of listened to the team. And there's a couple of shocks. I think Jenkins had come back into the starting team for Rob Evans. So I remember thinking, Ross Moriarty was starting for first time really. Probably started, and then almost switched off. And then I remember him saying, sort of number 20, Ellis Jenkins, and I was like, oh wow. And straight away I was like shivers, sweating. We walked out of the meeting, all the boys rubbed me on the head, and I was just like, oh, I can't believe this just happened.
Class.
We went out and trained then, and it was blur. Probably the worst training session I've ever had in my life.
Dropped everything.
It was terrible. But come it was amazing. The people are so friendly out there. Everyone loves rugby.
Yeah, I love it out there.
It probably helps that they don't lose many games. That they're all very friendly.
Yeah. I think there's a real strong connection between New Zealand and Wales in rugby anyway.
Yeah.
Play very, when I've been to New Zealand twice, I went for the 2011 World Cup, toured around it and met loads of the boys, went on for a few beers and stuff. And they all talked about the Wales teams of yesteryear, 70s and all that, with these great players that obviously everyone knows. And they idolise them, and they see themselves very much in the same mould, very similar countries.
Yeah, I think so.
So we were in some place in Hamilton, can't remember, 2011, it was when this guy was singing Sam Our Captain every day on like social media.
Yeah.
And people hated the English. And like, I'm English, so I was like, people like, where do you live? And I'm like, instead of saying I'm from England, I'd be like, I live in Cardiff. And they're like, my fucking boy, come on then. Different people out there, they're class.
Couldn't tell the accent.
No. Well, I've got a little twinge on it. I adapt, mate.
Yeah, valid accent.
Yeah, but now, what was it like then for you? Again, I've never faced a hacker. What's that like? Your first cap?
Yeah, I'd done it twice. So under 20s, I'd faced a hacker twice. So it was
course,
like I knew sort of roughly what it was like. But obviously in Eden Park, it was different level. I remember when the New Zealand anthems sung in like 2 different languages. So the first bit is a little bit like a Welsh anthem in the stadium. Really, the first bit, half the people understand. And then
Maori,
when it goes into English, the volume goes up. It's almost like the glad bit of the anthem. And like that was like hair standing up and ready to go. That was one of the moments that stands out for me really. And then obviously came on so we were really competitive in that game up until about 50-60 minutes. They made some changes that really changed the game. And but obviously first cap, it was Alan Wayne's 100th cap as well.
Oh, was it?
So overshadowed me a little bit.
I was about to say, what did you have to do for your induction?
Yeah, I just had to sing a song on the bus.
What did you sing?
I sang You're Too Good to Be True.
Okay. Strong. Get everyone joining in.
It's on the bus. In the home games, you have to do it in the function.
I thought that I've seen that before.
Yeah, so luckily I missed out on that and managed to do it on the bus instead in front of all the boys.
Class. Who's been the worst one that you've ever seen at home when they've got to do it in the function?
So I've always been really impressed with most of the boys, to be honest. Yeah.
It's the Welsh they can sing, see.
Yeah, I remember Thomas Williams did an Adele song.
Did he?
Yeah. And I was
Good?
he was alright actually. Yeah, he was all week. He was like, I'm breaking it.
Nervous, like
he pulled it out of the bag, and then probably one of the funniest ones I've seen is Jonah Holmes did the YMCA in the Millennium Stadium.
In front of everyone's friends and family.
Yeah, everyone, all the committee, everyone, the Tongan players. It was brilliant.
Did everyone join in?
Yeah, he stood up. To be fair, he stood up and apologised before he started.
Yeah.
He said, "Look, I just want to apologise to everyone for this."
And that went down well.
Yeah, really good.
Class.
Really good.
So how obviously Cardiff Blues got heritage obviously with back rows and Wales, and obviously you're right in the middle. You're 26 now.
26. Yeah.
So once you're back, you're going to be obviously hopefully back right in the mix again. How did you find it, especially when Sam was around? The competition is so intense for that back row. I mean, we've just seen obviously Navidi unfortunately got injured. How do you keep ahead of that? How do you use that to motivate you?
I think it's tough. It is tough sometimes.
Is it friendly rivalry or is there niggle?
100%. Well, both. Like when you're training, you want to get the better of who you're training against. It's a bit strange, really. Me, Sam, and Josh played together quite a few times. But it was over the probably 5-6 years that we were in the squad together. There was very few times that all three of us were fit at the same time. Just the nature of the position, I think. It was really like I loved playing as the three of us. It's like we have three open sides and you sort of all working together and know
three local lads as well. Grown up in the city.
Know what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
But it's good. Like I said, it's brilliant. Obviously, there's big competition training, but there'd be stuff that I could do that the boys couldn't do, and there's stuff that both of those could do that I couldn't do, and we'd be trying to sort of learn off each other as we went, and you know, you ultimately want to become a more rounded player. So it was great for us.
Anyone you particularly had, you don't have to name them, but are there people that you particularly had niggles with from other teams when you come into camp, or did they ever spill over from like regional into camp at all at Wales or whatever?
Nah, not really.
No?
Nah. It's,
so I'd always, if it was someone like, I don't know, for me, maybe I'm just me, like being an idiot. I'd always think there was that little fucker had me last time.
Nah, not really. More probably you're like your closest mates in training. You'd want to like do an over on them just for like bragging rights. It's a little bit like if you've been in Wales camp and then sort of the next game you play against one of the regions. It's always a bit like, you know, you spent the last 6-7 weeks with those boys every day, like meals, like you know, sharing a room with them sometimes, and then you're playing against them. So you're trying to, again, they're your close mates, you want to try and get one over on them. Class. But no, never any, well, personally anyway, I've never had any sort of bad blood spill over.
Oh, fair play. I'd always think there might be a little, you hear stories and that.
People might think differently about me, but I don't.
I'll keep interviewing so someone who's he's a prick.
I don't feel like that about anyone else.
Good man. What's so you had your debut in 2016, is that right? And then we had the obviously you was it Autumn International, the South Africa game? Yeah. And obviously you came off the bench, and I remember everyone was going like, "Fucking this guy's class." You stepped in at 8. Who did you come on for again?
So Dan Lydiate pulled out.
That's it.
In the team run.
Oh, okay.
So I came up for breakfast. On the morning of the game, I was on the bench. And just by chance, first person I saw was Aaron Wainwright. And he was like on the phone looking a bit sketchy, as Wainwright does. And I was like, "What's the matter?" And he just said, "I'm on the bench." So by deliberation, I was like, "Uh-oh." I knew Lids had been for a scan on his bicep the day before. So I went down, and the next person, just by chance again, the next person I saw was Lids. He had the sort of ice on his arm. So what have you done? He said, "I tore my bicep." So
it's nasty. I've done nasty.
Done both of them.
Done both of them. Too many big girls. I'm joking.
So I was obviously started. Gath came up to me in the team room actually and said, "Oh, you're starting this week." And I was captain against Tonga before. We battered Tonga, and like I played alright, but I was you know, it was one of those things where it was such an open game. The game sort of went past a couple of nice touches, but not quite where I wanted to be. And he came up to me in the team room before, and he's like, you weren't great last week. You got another chance today." So that's all he said. You got another chance today. Make it count. And that's all he said. So I'm thinking like,
fuck it, who are you?
Yeah, exactly. But that's what Gats is like. He's brilliant with his sort of.
He knows how people tick.
Maybe mind game is probably the wrong word to use, but just, you know, how to sort of get people up for
that man management.
It's you know, it's a big strength of his. So me and Ross actually clashed heads after about 7 or 8 minutes. He had to go off for a HIA. Didn't come back on, so I played number 8 for the game. Me, Tips, and Aaron Wainwright, and we beat South Africa. So
class.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
How do you think they'll go this weekend?
I think Nav's Josh is a big loss. Hopefully Foxy can make it as well. And I've seen, had his reports today that Liam Williams is maybe struggling as well. So
is it? I haven't seen that.
I think
he's been class for the last 2 years, 3 years.
Honestly, amazing. One of the best players I've ever played against or with.
Good guy as well.
Just oozes class. Like he's, you know, brave as anything. Like lots of classy players obviously have quite often have question marks over
defence or
how much they want it, but he's one of the bravest guys I've ever seen on the pitch. But look, we've beaten I think it's the last 4 times we've beat them, so it's a typical Welsh attitude really, that we're still almost pessimistic about the game. But
of course it is.
People sort of laughed before the during the Six Nations. I was like, we could win. Last time, people were like, no way, we're not going to beat Ireland, and then battered them in the last game. And even after the Grand Slam, people are like, when you say, oh, we could really challenge for the World Cup, people just almost.
It's almost like they want them to lose. They've got something to go at.
Yeah.
I don't get. I mean, interesting. I have this conversation with people. What's your take on social media and the media, and do you get much shit, trolls and stuff, and how do you deal with it if they do come at you? And
I usually ignore it. I don't get much. No. Luckily, no. Some of my good mates have had a lot.
I've seen horrendous stuff.
Yeah, it's horrific. It's stuff that people would never ever say.
No, to anyone's face.
No.
I've gone back after people.
Yeah.
I obviously don't play, but my mates do, so I've gone after the people going after them.
Yeah.
I've had full-blown wars of people going, come and meet me now, and I bet you'll not say fucking goose with a goose leg. So it winds me up. Who are they?
Yeah.
Have I made a mistake this week in work? Probably I have. So if someone's just made a mistake, who gives them the right to like...
Exactly.
Oh, it kills me sometimes.
Yeah, I get the whole, in the public eye and stuff, but some of the stuff people say is just ridiculous.
I think personally, I mean, you're still playing, but sometimes journalists are a bit like it as well. Like, it can get real clickbaity, and then people wonder why that's people then shy away from the media a bit and then don't give access. People are like, well, he's arrogant, he's snobby, and you're like, no, he's not.
Yeah.
You've just burnt him before.
Yeah, people. It's unfortunate, really, isn't it? But people do have bad experiences of social media and of different journalists.
You just don't let it get you at all.
I try not to. Like I said, I've been very lucky. Yet I haven't had any bad ones.
Yeah.
But no, like it's not something It's not something that winds me up that much. Most of the stick I get is on social media off my mates.
Yeah.
Trying to wind me up or trying to embarrass me with dodgy pictures of me drunk or whatever.
That's a bad one when you're out as well. Obviously everyone's got their phones out and stuff. I'm probably bad for it.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's the thing. You can. There's lots of stuff now on, and sometimes it can get portrayed in the wrong way as well.
Oh yeah, of course it can.
You just gotta sort of keep your wits about you a little bit, I think.
What's the Blues or even the Welsh Rugby? What are they like with that sort of stuff? Do they support those players? Psychologists and all that stuff who are going through. I know there's been one or two players in particular who have taken tremendous amounts of shit.
Yeah,
they're quite tough guys, but do they get given that support as well? Do you want to have a chat with someone?
I think the support is available. Yeah, it's like a couple of people I know have had sort of a lot of stick over the years. Sort of say, it doesn't bother me, and then in 3, 4, 5 years time, looking back, like they think actually, it was really affecting me. I was trying to put on a sort of a brave face, but didn't really realise how much it was. Sort of getting me down, which is a shame. Like it's, people always talk about your dream job and stuff, and for you to get to play your dream, do your dream job.
It's every kid's dream.
People make you feel bad for it. It's sad, really. But
I bet there's guys playing now. Don't quote me on this, but I bet there's guys playing now who it's a job for them. It's not enjoyable. It's literally a job because they get in, they get paid fairly well, they get to a decent standard, it affords them trips here, there and everywhere, but the other shit that comes with it sometimes, I can imagine that it's not as enjoyable as people think. It's not the the be all and end all and all that sort of stuff.
I'm not going to sit here and say it's not, it's not a great way to.
Oh, of course it is.
A great job to have, because it is, and we're very, very lucky to do what we do. But there are tough parts to it, like some sacrifices you have to make, and whatever. And also, like you said, about being in the public eye and being sort of open for a lot of criticism as well. But you like to think that the people around you, I know that if anyone came at me hard on social media, some of my best mates would go just as hard back at them.
Yeah, exactly. What's so like when if you get anything, or what's she like after games if say for example you've either had a really good game or you've missed one tackle? What's she like?
She loves it. My parents will quite happily search my name and stuff as well.
Oh, will they?
Yeah. And my mum it's probably got a list somewhere of everyone.
A little black book.
Yeah.
People just start getting knocked off.
Yeah. My mother's a Scouser as well, so she.
Oh, bloody hell!
She's probably got that, you know.
Yeah.
But just to, she'll. I imagine she's got a list of everyone who's ever said anything bad about me, and
class.
So we'll send good stuff their way when I do anything good.
Yeah, just tag them in it.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was talking to tweets. So I was looking at some stuff from you, and I completely forgot about this. But was it your mum went to text you, but text your sister who had graduated the same day?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Well, Katie likes to tell that story. Tell the story that way.
I'd forgotten about that.
So she's basically like handed in her dissertation for uni. So she's
unfinished 4 years.
Yeah, she's finished, but she hasn't actually graduated. It was the same day that the Welsh squad to Argentina.
Yeah.
The tour had been announced, and I was named as captain. So she's sent a text or WhatsApp to me. Says, I think the text, it says, well done, darling. And Katie was like, oh, thanks. Thinking like she meant
thanks for the diss, like, yeah.
And then my mum straight away has replied with, whoops, wrong child. So Katie's always had this, it's been a sort of running joke that she's
the second favourite.
Yeah, that I'm the favourite child. And
is your mum got banter like that, or is it genuine mistake?
No, she hates. So my sister anyway has screenshotted this and tweeted it. It says something like when you finish uni on the same day that the golden child gets picked for Wales. And my mum was horrified.
Was she?
Yeah, horrified. Like she finds it funny, but
yeah,
she was horrified because it's been bought up. I've been at like dinners and stuff, and it's been bought up on the big screen.
And she sat
my
there.
mum's it, and she's like, you can see she's gone. She hates it.
What was that like going from obviously squad player, test match player, captain? What was that like? Lead the boys.
Yeah, strange really. I found out off the internet when I was captain. Yeah, so I found out when it was announced on Instagram and Twitter. And it was a shock really. So
I always think there would be some sort of like WhatsApp group or message or something
so
like.
I text Corey because me and Corey Hill were co-captains. So I text Corey straight away. I was like, "Do you have any idea about that?" And he just said, "Nope." But Gats sort of called us in when we were first went into camp then and said, "Oh, this is where I'm thinking. We want to try and develop a bit of a sort of leadership group." The boys, all the boys who were going on the Lions tour the year before hadn't gone on that tour.
Yeah.
So I want to sort of develop sort of a group of boys who can sort of
leadership.
Almost join the Lions boys as sort of leaders within the squad, which was obviously great honour for us. And then to go to went to Washington and to Argentina, beat South Africa and Argentina twice was amazing. So it was just it was a bit strange. Like obviously I captained the Blues a lot, but you sort of with the Blues all year round. So you every day people get to know people better, and they sort of see you play, see you train, and you sort of earn that respect. But I guess you just gotta. I think you can try and force it a little bit sometimes. So we just had to go in and train and play as we normally do. And
do you feel extra pressure?
Not really. No. Other than speaking to the referee.
Yeah.
Like nothing changes. You still got to be the best player that you can be on the pitch, and there's no point being captain if your performances aren't excellent, because you're not gonna. Yeah, of course. You can't tell other people what to do unless you're doing it yourself, leading by example. Exactly. So. When you get to that level, I wouldn't have a fucking clue, mate. But when you get to that level, you'd expect, I suppose, there's lots of leaders in that team anyway. Yeah. Even if the Lions boys aren't there. Yeah, exactly. There's people who want to step up, claim the shirt, lead the forwards, lead the backs, lead defence, lead attack, whatever it might be. Yeah, and there's boys who've got 20, 30, 40 caps in that squad on that day that help as well. So it was easy for us, and it was great for me that I was co-captain with Corey, because we get on really well, and I think it could be a little bit difficult, I guess, to do that with someone who you sort of bat heads with a little bit, but we got on really well on the tour. Got like sort of we were lucky that we were winning for starters. Yeah. Everything's always easier when you're winning.
Of course.
And it was a great tour as well. We enjoyed the almost enjoyed the tour as a tour as well as the games.
So talking of tours, I've only done one tour in my professional rugby capacity. Bilbao.
Oh yeah.
Unbelievable 3 days.
Can't remember.
Nor me, to be honest. I can remember slightly less than you probably.
Don't know that.
What was that like? So obviously you went to Europe, beat Gloucester in the final. Last 2 minutes of the game, if I remember.
Yeah.
I was in the bottom corner where he kicked the goal.
Yeah.
Went berserk. What was that like for you guys?
Oh, amazing, absolutely amazing. It's strange because obviously we just qualified for the top tier of Europe in the league.
Yeah.
And then just missed out on the playoffs. So it was like a bit of an anticlimax. But then we beat Pau at home.
Oh yeah, I was there.
On the Arms Park, which they had some. Conrad Smith was playing. Steph Armitage. There's some big players. So then we went to Bilbao, and the Blues did it really well. To be fair, they sort of took everyone's families and sort of arranged a really good weekend. But it was amazing. We played in Atletico Bilbao Stadium, and the facilities were incredible.
Amazing stadium. It was unbelievable in there.
Yeah.
Well, they served non-alcoholic beer from half-time onwards and didn't tell anyone.
Did they?
No, and I sort of saw it halfway through. So I bought these like 4 2-pinters, and then I was like,
you probably needed.
Oh yeah, it sorted me out. That's how I lasted the night.
And we were losing by like 14 points half time.
Yeah.
So we'd come out half time and just thought like, we went late. It's our last game of season. We're in a final. Just have a go. Yeah. And to be fair, Jenkins, got a ball off kick off, made a little chip over the top, got it back, chip over the top again, and Thomas has somehow picked the ball up off his feet. Like the guys pushed him and like cropped him at the same time.
Yeah.
Tom's punted the ball into the post, and as it's bounced back, he's like picked it up one-handed off his feet, and even watching it back now, it gives me goosebumps because I remember I was running after him as fast as I could, and he's gone over, and it was just we're all screaming. And, just obviously got back into it, Blaine scored in the corner. Yeah. Then they scored, and it's like real momentum. Like the momentum has swung so much in our favour, and I think we had a kick off, and they kicked off to us, and they were winning by 6 points. And we'd scored a try.
Did Darren score?
We scored a try to go 2 points behind.
Yeah.
And Jenkins missed the
conversion. Yeah,
I stand by. If
from the far side,
if he kicked that conversion, we'd have lost the game.
Okay.
I genuinely think that, because if
we'd have been drawing,
we'd been to a draw and we would have kicked it out or whatever.
Penalty or whatever. Yeah.
So he's missed the conversion. And he's kicked.
He was on form. Yeah.
Something like in the 3 games before, he was something like 22 out of 23 kicks or something. Something ridiculous. We've just gone, sort of jouet from the own half. Chicken, little crossfield kick to Garin.
Yeah.
Garin's actually tried 2 kicks already.
I was going to say, did he put 2 kicks into touch?
He's come on the wing.
Yeah.
And because Laney broke his hand.
That's
so
it.
Twice he's got the ball run out the wing and spooned it into touch.
Yeah.
So crossfield kick, Garin's caught it, and he's done it again. And I'm like, oh my, I can't believe he's going for this again.
I remember it now.
Kicked it all at the 5 metre line. Got there. The guy's gone down on the ball. Guys tackled him, jackled him. It was amazing. One of the proudest moments. Watching outside.
Talk everything.
Watching outside back, jackal for a game-winning penalty like that. One of the proudest moments of my life. And obviously, Chicken's still got a penalty from touchline, and he's missed one before. But it was. I was fully confident. It was as soon as he gave the penalty, I was like, right, go for the 3. He's obviously slotted it over and.
I honestly don't think I've hugged or kissed as many grown men as I have in my life that next 20 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, next 24 hours.
Well, yeah, and Molly Balloons the next day.
Yeah, well, we all obviously went there to watch the fine Racing Leinster final, and I couldn't tell you one thing that happened in that game.
Basically after the game then, all the sponsors, all the family and friends and non-playing staff went to the hotel.
Yeah.
Obviously, we started having a few drinks. Then all the players come in with the trophy and all the medals. And I think we were there till like 3-4 in the morning. But you guys, I think, went on longer, didn't you?
Yeah, I think so. Like,
I remember seeing was in like Nick Williams or something like 9 a.m. still sat there like unbelievable.
I went down for breakfast. Like after a game, you drain, you have a couple of drinks and I just couldn't stay awake. So obviously I'd been drinking solid from the end of the game. We were drinking on the pitch in the changing room.
Yeah.
Gone to bed probably 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Gone down for breakfast. So I had a phone call then, boys, everyone down for breakfast at like 8:30. So I sat down with like 2 pieces of toast, some just still in like all the 2 pieces of scrambled egg. Nick Williams just slid the plate out of the way and just put Bloody Mary in front of me, and I was like,
he's something else, that guy.
And that was the start of the next day, really.
I remember we had, I think it was Bloomberg or someone had organised buses for us to take us from the hotels into town. All the supporters could kind of go and do what they want for the day, but he was like, the lads are in here, so me and Dean and a few others were like, right, wicked, we'll come in there as well. Yeah. Obviously no loads of you, so we're like, yeah, we'll go in. I remember walking into this Irish bar and it was no Gloucester fans, quite a few Cardiff fans to be fair, obviously loads of Racing and loads of Leinster.
Yeah.
Irish bar was absolutely rammed, and in one corner there's just chanting, everyone's going mad. Look over and it's the entire blue squad, so we're like, right, we'll get the next table over, join in. Loads of us had tickets for the game for Racing against Stad.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, it's 8 p.m. and someone's just grabbed me by the shoulder and gone, your bus is outside, you're flying home in 3 hours. And I'm like, what? Where's the day gone? Unbelievable.
Yeah. No, it was a good weekend. It was well done as well.
Yeah, it was, to be fair to the Blues, it was a really good trip. I just remember looking up, chanting Backstreet Boys, as I always do. Yeah. And the whole pub just joined in. Yeah. It was class.
Yeah, it was good.
Unbelievable time, fair play. I want to get into a bit of your teammates, alright? So for people who might not know, in the Blues squad, who's got the worst rig and who's got the best rig, would you say? Who's tour ready 24/7 and who's sloppy?
Probably two worst rigs in the squad would be Rhys Gill and Macaulay Cook.
They'd be livid with that.
Yeah.
Who's always tour ready, no matter what?
Tour ready. Lloyd Williams.
Always ready.
Yeah, and Matthew Morgan.
Is he?
Yeah, looks like a Greek god with his top off.
Does he?
Yeah, he loves the gym.
Class.
Looks after himself.
Sunbed now and again, is it?
Oh yeah, proper gym boy. He's always looking good.
Class. Who's got the best banter? Worst? Who would you definitely take on tour just for the banter alone?
Probably Macaulay Cook again. I'm not sure if it's good banter or bad banter, but
it's just funny.
Yeah, brilliant. Dan Fish as well. He's always got something to say. He's good laugh.
Funny. Who's average? Who puts people to sleep?
Worst banter. Lewis Jones likes to think he's.
I was waiting for that.
Lewis Jones.
Team bin juice.
Yeah.
I'll get him on here one day. We'll have a laugh.
Yeah, you should do.
He'd be funny. Good crack. Who's got the best get up and the worst get up? Who's got the worst clothes? Like, must be some spicy bastards.
They said, worst dressed, hands down. Now that Matthew Rees is retired, is Macaulay Cook without a doubt. Like no, honestly, whatever he turns up in, it's got to the point now that even if he turns up and looks alright, the boys just rinse him because it's just so bad. Thomas Williams always looking sharp.
Is he?
Yeah.
Nice.
Valley's boy, he's spicy.
Yeah.
Bit of swagger about him as well.
Love that.
He's looking sharp. Owen Lane as well likes fancy.
His missus works in Reese, doesn't she? So
so he's always walking around in nice Reese clothes. Looking expensive clothes and doesn't tell people he had 50% off in there. But he has his haircut every 5 or 6 days as well.
Does he?
So, yeah, always.
I wouldn't know, but
fresh.
The fresh fade.
No one's ever seen Owen Lane without a fresh fade.
Class.
Yeah.
Fair play. Got some questions off Instagram. Alright, so I put I put some I did it for Soap last week as well, and wasn't too bad. So you'll know some of these people, and other ones are just fans, I think. So you got one Ellis 5468. What was your motivation? How do you stay motivated coming back from injury? Some of these might be a bit noisy, but
yeah,
I'll ask him.
It's tough, especially like I say, you know, you got rehab's going really well. You're sort of progressing, and all of a sudden, you know, you maybe overcook it a little bit on a Monday. You try and run again on a Thursday, and you can't. But it's just, you know, sort of remembering why you play. You know, talked a little bit about sort of good memories you've had in the game, and ultimately it's why we all started playing. It's like I love it. So
what would you do if you weren't playing rugby?
I don't know, professional golfer.
Oh, okay, what do you play off?
9.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'll give you that. I'm about 29.
Very generous 9.
What sort of time off you boys get?
Yeah, I obviously haven't been able to play for much for the last year. I don't know, something maths based. Like a bit of a maths geek.
Teacher or something?
No, maybe like
engineer.
Yeah, I did a bit of I went to uni to do a bit of engineering.
Yeah. Where'd you go?
Cardiff.
Oh, okay.
But I started uni at the same time I started training full time as a senior with Blues. So
it's tough to do.
Well, one of them had to give really, and at the time it was the right decision, obviously.
Yeah, of course. You can go back and do that whenever.
Yeah, exactly. I had sort of one chance at rugby and give it a go.
Fair play. Got Laura Fish 64. She has the same one. Sorry, Dylan Lewis. Don't even know him. Blues and Wales prop. Stinking moustache at the moment.
Yeah, I know. Awful,
I quite like it, but
awful moustache.
I was thinking maybe do it for Movember. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I like the Jack Goodhue mullet as well. That's fucking class. Like
moustache mullet.
His moustache is like out the door now.
Yeah.
Proper little tickler.
Horrible.
Yeah. So what's your best memory you've shared with Dylan Lewis?
He'd be in trouble if I was.
I dare you. Well, let's it out.
No, he says a family show.
That's a family show. I've sworn about 8 times.
Best memory of Dylan Lewis. I have to come back to that one.
Alright, we'll do that one again at the end.
I'll have to have a think.
Isaac Phillips, when are you back? Obviously, you said you're trying to get back for Christmas.
Yeah.
Targeting a particular game?
No, not really.
Obviously, you got the derbies then, haven't you?
It's around Christmas time, give or take. A couple of weeks, could be longer. Probably not going to be much shorter than that, but could be longer if things don't quite go to plan. But all going well, but around Christmas time.
Happy days. Jess Parry. So, what's it like to be back training?
I'm not back training.
Just rehabbing.
Yes.
When are you due to get back with the squad?
Again, it sort of depends on. I've got to pass like some tests first, you know, before I could change direction at high speed and clock up a couple of miles running as well.
I reckon I'd be faster than you at the moment.
I don't know about that.
Just about that.
You'd probably do it yourself.
Yeah, I would actually. I'd probably fucking test something else. I think you know this lad, Jack Orrell.
Yeah, he's a liar. The biggest liar I've ever met.
Did it hurt when Jack Orrell put you on your head in the sevens? Is that a true story?
Yeah, it is. It is a true story. So playing sevens in school. We got 16 years old. I think I've just come back from playing Wales in 16s. Like me and Jack have been best mates for years. Yeah. And he's on the opposite team, so all the game we've tried to, been trying to get into
each other up. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's a brilliant rugby player when he was younger. Just found, at that age where he found booze and
drink and food and girls and girls everything else that comes with it. Yeah. Mate, I'd have been a pro if it wasn't for that. I promise.
Yeah, that's what he says all the time.
Yeah, I had a dodgy knee. That was it.
So anyway, it's a draw. We've got minute or two to play in a game of sevens. We've run. We just run. It's gone out wide. To come back to us, I've caught the balls 2-on-1 with Jack for all our watching. I've given the perfect draw and give. Yeah. Given the pass, and as I'm admiring the pass I've just thrown, Jack picked me up and spun me upside down and proper
red card. Like,
oh, these days would be red card 100%. But he's like, as he's picking me up, he's laughing, and I'm like, he's still, he's
still living off it now. Like, 10 years later.
Yeah, maybe more. But yeah, he did put me on my ass. Yeah.
Fair play. He's got another one.
Oh yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
He seen you had a lovely Omega Seamaster on. Where did you get it from? It looked quality. What's the story behind that?
Yeah, it's
You're not wearing it today?
No. Watch it.
Watches a Wales.
Watch the land to it. Yeah. I'm not sure what he's getting at there, to be honest. But it was a present off Jack, actually.
Oh,
so,
was it?
Yeah, I think he's. If anyone's looking for a watch.
Off the back of a lorry, is it?
Yeah, message Jack.
Message Jack Oral. We got one here from H the Gog. What come first, the chicken or the egg?
That'd be the egg, wouldn't it?
Would it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about the chicken laying it?
Nah, someone else would have laid it, and just it was a mutation in the egg. And
I love how you've actually thought about that. Yeah. So Jacob, one of the other ones, Are You Fit Again? Obviously, you've mentioned that. There's one more. Sophie Evans. Don't know if you know her. Your other half, your better half, shall I say?
I've heard of her. Depends what she's. Yeah.
Is it true you're flat out vegan now?
I had a ribeye steak last night.
I've heard.
So no.
I heard you went vegan for the day and then caved in.
No, I've been eating a lot less meat than previously.
How are you finding that affects you?
All right. It's early days. It's a couple of days.
Watch your space.
But I've eaten meat every meal for the last 15 years probably. What do you base your meal around?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm the same.
Yeah, watching a couple of Netflix documentaries and stuff, and with obviously a lot of time watching Netflix and a couple of documentaries, sort of
class.
Yeah,
So I asked Sophie a few questions, 5 to finish, right? So I asked her a few questions. Obviously last week I asked you a few questions for Sophie. She got all 5 right. Okay. Even the date one with the clothes, she got that right. She remembered what she wore.
Yeah.
Could she remember what you wore? I can't remember now.
Nah.
But she told us about the first date as well.
Yeah.
Where you ended up splitting the bill.
Yeah.
Very 2019 that is.
She insisted on it.
I'd take it.
Well, then wouldn't have given her the second date though.
And where would you be now?
Exactly.
So, what's Sophie's birthday, mate?
Birthday, 13th of February.
Oh, you were quicker than her answering on that.
Yeah.
Who's better on the what bike, you or her?
Oh, it's close actually, but me.
Yeah, she said that. What would Sophie's last meal be?
Pasta.
Oh,
she might say Indian, but I'm not sure.
Pizza.
She went pizza? Nah,
yeah.
That's nonsense.
Unless she's read it, what's yours?
Yeah, she's I reckon she's wrong.
VAR.
Yeah.
Your favourite holiday destination you've both been on?
Cyprus?
Yeah. And who's more competitive?
Her.
Yeah.
Easy.
There we are, 4 out of 5, pal. Unfortunately, she's pipped you there, mate.
Yes.
You'll have to go home and have it out with her now.
She's wrong. Wrong answer.
I did say to her, who's more famous now? Obviously, her being famous in London and you being famous there. To be fair, she was like, can't walk around Cardiff anymore.
Yeah.
Especially at the moment, obviously, you're doing so much promo work.
Yeah, it's around the Arms Park, probably me. Anywhere else.
10 metre diameter around there.
Anywhere else, definitely her.
Class.
Definitely.
Hey, look, thank you very much for coming in, mate. Appreciate that.
Thanks for having me.
Good to see you, and I'm sure we'll catch up again soon.
Top man.
Ellis Jenkins, thank you. Top man.